Hey y'all. Hey y'all. What's up? What's up? So listen, hold on. You see that little mole on my hand? You see that? This this little thing right here. What's funny is my son has the same thing, but it's like right here and it's on the same hand. Isn't that interesting? Lela Rochon, Nicole Murphy, and Antoine Fuqua. If you haven't heard about this situation, Antoine Fuqua, sounding all uppity, Fuqua. He and Nicole Murphy were caught in Italy, basically kissing and smooching as if they've been romantically connected to each other, like for an extended amount of time. Um, they claimed initially that these pictures of them two were just friendly pictures. They saw each other in Italy and had like a friendly rapport. But it later came out that Nicole apparently did not know that Antoine Fuqua was married to Lela Rochon. Now, apparently, Nicole Murphy is friends with Lela Rochon and her husband, Antoine Fuqua. So I don't even know how she did not know that they were, were still married. To me, I feel like she's just using it as an excuse because there's no way in the world she could be a friend of the family and not know that these two, were still married. And technically, if you are a friend of these two people, why would you even like that's too close for comfort. Like you've known this couple for many years, and if they were experiencing divorce or if they were separated, this would be a couple that you might not want to touch. These are your friends, you know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing, and I've said this before, for a mistress to see a man or a woman to see a man that she's interested in and he may be separated or divorced or even still in a marriage and trying to leave and she has like this interest in him. It's one thing for her to just see some strange guy she met and want to have something romantically with him or intimately with him versus a woman just seeing a friend of hers have a problem with her husband and she decides to get romantically connected to this husband. That is two very different things because as a friend, let's say Nicole Murphy, for example, she has a responsibility as Lela Rochon's friend to not go out there and sleep with her husband. You know, you've made that friendship and commitment. You've underlined it. You dedicated yourself to this long term friendship. Why would you cross that line? So it's different between just a random woman. Had Nicole Murphy been just some random woman that didn't know who these two people were, it would be easier for me to like swallow the fact that they had an affair. Now, my thing is, affairs aren't like something that you should be doing. You know, it's not like something I'm promoting, that women should do all of the time. But I do want people to understand why people end up cheating and why infidelity is even something that exists. And this topic right here is one of the reasons why a lot of men cheat on their women as far as when women get older they start letting themselves go, they start gaining weight, they're no longer exercising, they're no longer eating right, they're parents to 2 and 3 kids and they just really don't have a lot of time to take care of themselves because they're taking care of children. So it's very, very difficult to juggle, eating healthy and exercising, taking care of your kids and working and doing a whole bunch of things. It's a lot to put on a woman. A woman has to wear a lot of hats. A lot of times men want women to be extremely attractive, be very, very domesticated, clean, cook, still be mothers, still have a job, just juggle a whole bunch of things. And so I feel like there is a expectation placed, is very harsh that is being placed on women to where they have to be like these perfect creatures in order to be classified as wife material. And so as I've gotten on Facebook earlier today, I saw this post where this woman was saying, "Hey, this Lela Rochon let herself go," and I've been seeing this on the internet for a couple of days now. They were saying that Lela Rochon let herself go, so she deserves to be cheated on because we all know that men are about appearances. But see, here's my thing with this whole entire situation. Okay, number one, women out here who were thin and then their husband saw them get older or gain more weight and these men still love these women to pieces. Okay, that not all men are designed in that way. Okay, you have men that are like that, but not all men are like that. Okay, that's number one. Number two, it's big women out here, BBW women, who have these good husbands and boyfriends, and these husbands and boyfriends have loved these women even with them being BBW. Okay, BBW women are still attractive to some men. Okay, just like some men like slim women, some men like thick women, some men like BBW, some men like light skin, some men like dark skin, some men like tall, some men short. You know, every person has a different preference in regards to what they like. Just because social media only presents this one type of industry standard European beauty doesn't mean that that's what everybody is falling in line with. Okay, so anyway, okay, now this woman letting herself go doesn't mean that she deserves to be cheated on. Okay, but this Antoine Fuqua person was cheating on Lela Rochon when she was fine. He had two babies outside of their marriage between two different women. So he was cheating on Lela Rochon when she was like this beautiful woman. You know, this woman that everybody classifies as society's, standard of beauty. Fine. You know, she was fit. We've seen Lela Rochon. We know that Lela Rochon can go back to the way that she was. I mean, that's her. You know what I'm saying? She was one of those women that was tight. She kept it tight. She had beautiful hair, a beautiful smile, beautiful skin. That's Lela Rochon. So if she decides that she wants to be back that way, she could do that. You know what I mean? Because that's who she is, right? So when she was that, the woman that we saw in Boomerang, the woman that we saw in Waiting to Exhale, when she was that woman, he was cheating on her. You see what I'm saying? So no amount of crunches or getting on the um, treadmill or walking or eating right would have stopped this man from being an ass. Okay, then this whole concept of, well, she's stupid for staying with him. A lot of people just stay for the kids, and I said this in the live stream the other day. I don't know why Lela Rochon stayed with him after he had the first baby out of their marriage. That's usually the breaking point for a lot of women, especially if they have kids together. Then there's women out there that stay. There are a lot of wives out there that stay. Like, if you ask a lot of grandparents, how did they end up staying together? They'll say their husbands did a whole bunch of things. We just weren't extremely vocal about it. Like, a lot of people who have been married for years on top of years on top of years, they've been in these marriages, and wives will tell you this. They've been in these marriages where their husbands have had babies outside of their marriage, and all these women do is stay. So I believe that the way Lela Rochon's thought process in regards to marriage is, she's probably a very fair family oriented person. She probably believes in the institution of marriage. I know by following her on Instagram, when she did have her Instagram page up, she's taken it down. This whole scandal came out. She was very, very supportive of her husband. Like, she would post her husband all of the time. She was just happy to be married and be in a family. So sticking to her husband after he's had all of these affairs with women, she's just doing what she's been taught. And every woman that has been or grew up around these traditional marriages will tell you that, their husbands and wives have all done stuff to each other. They just don't say nothing about it. They've cheated, they've betrayed each other in all types of ways inside of these marriages, but they still end up sticking together through it. And so a lot of people are no longer putting up with that. So I'm seeing, like, when I see people post about this Lela Rochon and Nicole Murphy situation, a lot of women are saying, well, I hope Lela Rochon leaves him. I hope, they get a divorce, blah, blah, blah. And Nicole Murphy has been divorced herself. She was with Eddie Murphy for a very, very long time, and they ended up getting divorced. I think her and Eddie Murphy have 3 or 4 kids together. So she knows how divorce feels. So I don't know why she would even think, even if Lela and Antoine were divorced, I don't know why she would think that this would be an appropriate time for her to sleep with her friend's husband, or even be flirty. Even if that was light flirting, I still think it was extremely inappropriate for you to do something like that to your friends. There is no way in the world that that could be justified at any moment in time. Like, I will never be able to fathom in my head why Nicole would want to do something like that. But at the same time, she's experienced it with Eddie Murphy. So maybe at some point she's feeling like, okay, as fine as I am, as much as I put myself together, as much as I'm as successful as I am, how much money I make, or whatever the case is, I still ended up getting cheated on. I still ended up divorced. Why does this woman, Lela Rochon, who doesn't have the body that I have, doesn't have the looks that I have, she let herself go. She has 3 kids too. How is her and her husband still together? Yes, there are women out there that will maliciously do something like that just so they can feel better about themselves. A lot of people do that. I always tell people, people who involve themselves in infidelity, when they do these things, it 9 times out of 10 doesn't have anything to do with you. A lot of times they just don't have a lot of respect for themselves. And this is what I said about being a mistress. Mistresses, you can't expect for a mistress to respect your situation or your marriage when she can't even respect herself because she's dealing with her own shit. You see what I'm saying? She's dealing with her own like issues and problems and all types of stuff. So considering what you feel and what you think is the least thing that she's concerned about. A lot of the times mistresses just need to get through the next day. And I don't understand how this woman would need that. Nicole Murphy would need that because honestly, if I had the looks and money that she had, I wouldn't even need a man to validate me. I'll just take myself on a nice little trip, travel the world, and do what I need to do to make myself happy. I wouldn't have to, go after someone's husband. And this is a habit for this woman. This isn't like something she's done one time. you know, two times. I think she's on like this her third time doing this. Okay, from what I understand. So apparently she just likes to do something like this. This is a habit. And it's the same thing with Antoine Fuqua. I'm not letting him off the hook either because this isn't simply Nicole Murphy's fault. This man, this is his habit. Cheating on his wife is his habit. He's a promiscuous person. That's what he likes to do. So whether he's married or not is neither here nor there because this has been a problem, an ongoing problem with this man. So as women, when we get into these situations and we get into these marriages, and you're trying to keep yourself perfect, keep yourself fly, you want to have your hair done all the time, make sure you exercise, make sure you eat well, make sure you're doing those things for you, not just so you can keep a man. Because it doesn't matter how fine you are. When these men want to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. Period. It doesn't matter how much you weigh. It doesn't matter how you smell. It doesn't matter whether your hair is straight. It doesn't matter if your hair is kinky. It does not matter. When these men don't want to be where they are, they're going to show you that. And they're going to show you that by their behavior. And sometimes, once you break that relationship off and you decide to get a divorce and you move on and they see you with somebody else, then they begin to regret. Then they begin to realize that they done squandered their riches or they made this huge mistake in regards to their marriage. But a lot of times men don't. A lot of times men just, you done broke up with them, you was worth all of this and you was all wonderful to them, and then when you get a divorce, they still act like, the same shit stain that they were when you two were together. So these are the things that I want women to understand, that when you 100% in yourself, right? Whether you're skinny or you're thin, when you're 100% inside of yourself, you make better choices in men and you make better choices inside of your marriages and your relationships. Nicole Murphy and Lela Rochon are both making poor choices. They're completely two different types of women, but still making poor choices. Nicole Murphy, fine, right? She got this nice body. She going around here. She dressed good. She live good. Still making poor choices in men. Lela Rochon, she's sitting up here in a marriage that she's been in for 20 years, putting up with this foolishness. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, he has 2 children outside of their marriage. He done did this cheating on her twice already. So she's been putting up with the foolishness. Just because he got caught twice or he had baby twice doesn't mean he only cheated twice. This man has cheated on her over and over and over again, I'm sure, even from the beginning of the marriage. This isn't something new he just decided to do the other day. He's been doing this the entire time. And she's just been sitting up there putting up with it. So both of them have been making poor choices in men. So when you are good inside of yourself, you're confident, you enjoy, who you alone with, you can't be lonely. You take pride in who you are as a woman, as a person. You're not going to put up with any of this shit that men be doing, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're fat, whether you're skinny. It doesn't mean that you deserve to be cheated on. Okay? No person deserves to be cheated on. If you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody, tell that to them before you decide sleeping with someone else. Break up your situation before you decide sleeping with somebody else. And make sure that you over your last situation before you get in a new situation. A lot of people make that mistake too. They get into these relationships trying to speed through to get over some shit, and then you end up messing up somebody else's life because you wasn't taking that person serious to begin with. You were inside of that relationship just to help you pass time, and then you over here playing with somebody else's life when you didn't intend on being with that person for the long term to begin with. But you're sitting here making a person believe that because you're trying to get over your previous relationship. Find healthier ways to get over your stuff. A lot of people don't have healthy ways to cope with the stuff that they have been dealing with as far as relationships and breakups. This is the reason why a lot of people don't want to be married anymore. This is the reason why a lot of people don't want to be in relationships anymore. You you can't even trust people anymore. And honestly, I don't think there was a time you could ever trust people. It's just people were so much better at keeping secrets when social media wasn't around. People were so much better at keeping secrets when we didn't have the internet. It, People were so much better at keeping secrets when there wasn't cell phones to look through and email accounts to check. It was easier to cheat on people then. Because back then when you disappeared, nobody could find you, nobody could trace you, because you didn't have a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? They would have to wait till you got to a payphone or a rotary phone or whatever for you to call them. So cheating used to be much easier. Now you can't get away with it. So I think cheating was just as bad as it was then. It's just now we can see it. Now we catching people, and it's waking people up to the situation. Honestly, I don't feel like anybody deserves to be betrayed. Nobody deserves to be lied to. Nobody deserves to be misled, regardless to how much you weigh, regardless to the color of your skin, regardless to whether you're extremely attractive or ugly. You do not deserve somebody treating you negatively. Period. You don't deserve it. Especially if you walking around here and you ain't doing nothing to hurt nobody. You don't deserve to be treated that way. Do not allow anyone to make you feel like you deserve because you gain weight. You deserve to be cheated on because you gain some weight. So what? Do you know women gain weight all of the time? Women gain weight simply off of them being stressed. Women will gain weight if they have uterus issues or thyroid issues. Women gain weight every time they give birth to children. Okay, when you see a woman who's had 3 and 4 kids and they still fine or they still slim, trust me, they was a skinny mini from the beginning. They was just born bones. Okay, because it's hard to get that weight off. To me, Nicole Murphy was always skinny. She was just a skinny chick with no breasts, no butt. She was just the bony chick that, regardless to whether she had 300 kids, she was always going to be slim because that's her body structure. Lela Rochon, on the other hand, she had to work out to look as beautiful as she did because she wasn't a skinny mini. She was a woman who just took very, very good care of her body. So now she has 3 kids, and who has freaking time? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have to stop putting so much pressure on women to be extremely beautiful all the time and then blame us for why these men decide they want to walk away or they want to be shit stains or evil or cruel. You don't have to be cruel to somebody because they no longer look how you want them to look or they no longer do what you want them to do. That's crazy. You don't treat somebody bad simply because they're overweight. You don't treat somebody bad simply because, like, the girl that got like beat up by her own friends the other day because she had a mental disability, and these girls wanted to sleep with this boy, and because the girl with the mental disability didn't want to sleep with the boy, they jumped on her. Really? Like, the stuff that the climate of this country nowadays is too much for me. I don't even know how y'all doing it. Me, I just want to go to work, come home, drive up in my driveway right now, play with my kids, and then that's it. Because when I start interacting with the world and I start seeing what everybody else doing, I'm just confused as to why everyone is treating each other so bad. And the only reason why I can fathom, because this isn't some new age junk. This is some stuff that's just been happening all of our lives. It's just now we get to see it in HD because of all of this social media, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the YouTubes. Everyone is expressing their opinions and are being extremely honest and vulgar and cruel. A lot of the stuff, these people have been thinking this stuff for years. Our parents been thinking this type of stuff for years. They just had enough sense not to say this stuff out loud. They didn't want to offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings. Now, people just say whatever. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your family. They don't care about what you think. They don't care about what's going on because they don't respect themselves. Social media has put us in a place where if we don't get enough likes, okay, if we don't get enough hearts on our stuff, if we don't get enough views on our videos, if we don't get enough subscribers and shit, we feel some type of way. We're like, oh, so people don't like me? Oh, want to go home and cry in a corner because people don't like you because you're fat or you're dark skinned or your hair is nappy or something crazy like that. Like, I'm so done with caring. Like, if you've noticed, I just don't care. Like, if you're going to watch my stuff, if you're not going to watch it, don't. You know what I'm saying? I will be all right at the end of the day because my happiness it's not pulled from social media. That's no. Ladies and gents, please find a healthier way to cope with you losing people, with maybe you losing your job, maybe you don't have enough money. Some people don't have enough self-esteem, enough confidence, so they get on social media and vent. They sleep with people's husbands, betray their own friends, sleep with people's wives, sisters, relatives, all types of just crazy stuff to the people that you supposedly love and care for. If you keep destroying these friendships and these relationships with the people around you, when you need people, there's going to be nobody there. There's going to be nobody there because so many people are turned off by how you treated them, how ugly you were towards them, how you didn't care about their feelings. Now, here's my thing. Everybody, listen, nobody's perfect. Okay? Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. But when you see a pattern, like I just said, Nicole Murphy got a pattern. Antoine Fuqua got a pattern. This situation right here where it's just blasted on social media, the pictures of them two having this affair or whatever they're doing, maybe this will be a wake up call for the both of them. And maybe they'll change their behavior and not take the people around them for granted. Please stop taking the people around you for granted. Stop being so careless and so malicious and thinking everybody is expendable. Some people in your life you're never going to be able to replace no matter how hard you try. Some people you meet, they're going to be one of the most beautiful, loving, caring people you ever met, and you wasn't ready for a relationship, so you treated them bad. Crap like that? Okay, you're not ready for a relationship. That don't mean treat them bad. You understand? Just because you going through your own stuff doesn't mean you inflict pain on other people. Why do people do that? All day, every day. Why do you think it's so many trolls on social media? It isn't because, oh, they're just like trolling because they feel like, trolling someone. No, they're in pain themselves. They find entertainment in inflicting pain on other people by using social media maliciously. That's where the concept of troll even came from. People just maliciously doing stuff to hurt people. It's because they themselves are hurting. So everybody in social media land or internet land or whatever it is that you're doing, please start putting a filter on the stuff that you're saying on social media. No one deserves to be cheated on simply because they gained weight. This Lela Rochon stuff, I'm glad she took her stuff off of social media. I'm glad she took it down because social media, these people, it would have been people that felt sorry for her, of course, but they would have flooded her comment section with all types of cruel stuff. Trust me, because you get it both ways. It's 50-50. There is no person on this planet that can tell you that on their social media platform, it's always 100% like everyone is positive. Because that's not how the world works. It's a whole bunch of negative people out there. For every positive person out there, there's a negative person out there. So it's always 50-50. It's always 50-50. So what I want to do with what I'm doing with my channel, I'm not going to tell you guys to do what you can do what you want to do on social media, but at the same time, a lot of what y'all doing is so messed up. It's so messed up because you're hurting like so many people because you don't know how to cope with your own stuff. What I do with my social media is anytime I'm feeling like bad or negative or something, I use my social media to post something positive so it can uplift another human being. Because I know when I'm down and I have something going on with myself, I want somebody to encourage me, to help me, to stand by me, somebody that I can lean on, somebody that can help me through the process. I know I want that. So I put that out into the universe. So what ends up happening is whoever matches my energy, they come in and giving me them positive reinforcements and encouragements. This is what y'all need to do in my advice is when you feeling bad, instead of getting onto social media venting, okay? And I vented. I'm not holier than thou saying I've never vented on social media because I have, but what I've been seeing other people do lately is real extreme. Like really just a whole other level of like venting. I'm saying instead of getting on social media and venting, of course you want to tell your story, but to maliciously troll people anonymously or make up lies or spread rumors or try to hurt somebody that slept with your man or to try to hurt your man or something crazy, fellas too, you wish that you could be back with somebody that you done broke up with, so you want to ruin your ex's new relationships with new men and all. I've seen men do this. Men so jealous that they didn't get a chance with the woman that they really wanted to kick it with, and she didn't want to kick it with them, so they go and spread rumors about this woman on the internet. I have a friend who her boyfriend used to record them two having sex. So when them two broke up, he posted her stuff on Pornhub. Yeah, she had to go through all of this just to get it taken down. Put her legal name up there. Made it to where, listen, if she wanted to get a job and they did a background check, Pornhub would show up. Seriously, he did this because he wanted to still be with her and she wanted to break up. This is the stuff that people are doing. People are maliciously using the internet. And eventually it's going to be a time where it's going to be policed to where you're not going to be able to do this stuff or get away with this stuff anymore. Please find a way, another way to vent. Okay, you want to tell your story, that's fine. I've told my story. I've been like, okay, me and my man went through this and my man's name is blah blah blah, boop boop boop. But something is extreme, like you got, like you gotta have a limit to your stuff. As extreme as, like, say for instance, me and my exes, if we'd videotaped ourselves, like, I don't know, having sex or something. Maybe he was giving me some type of, I don't know. I'm not gonna say because it's YouTube land. I gotta keep it like simple. I wouldn't have posted it to no Pornhub. I wouldn't like some stuff you just it's just too extreme and y'all know what the limitations are. You guys know what the limitations are. You can't just go around and do all of this stuff. All right? And just like in virtual reality, you can't do certain things. In real reality, you can't do certain things. Okay? Cheating on somebody, lying on somebody, hurting somebody simply because you hurt or you confused about who you want to be or what you want to do or you bored or something like that. Stop hurting other people because of your boredom or your confusion or your limited beliefs or whatever. Like, it's nothing wrong with a human being walking out here in the world trying things and doing new things, but when you start hurting other people in the process is when it becomes a problem. And the people who chastise and criticize so much for being homosexual or being polyamorous or being, I don't know, black or being whatever, you guys chastise these people for being things they can't help or making choices they choosing for their own life, but then you turn around and you basically, instead of doing what you need to do to cope with your own or putting energy into your own life to change your situation for the better, you're spending most of your time chastising these people every day, or maliciously plotting all of these schemes and scams to hurt your friends and your family or your exes or your ex-friends or all of this just craziness. Like, it's just unfortunate that we basically seeing what happen behind closed doors. We're getting a chance to see all of the things, all of the secrets people have had for years. You hear me? Secrets that, because social media has made it so open, like, secrets are hard to keep. Be a good person offline, online. Be a good person to your friends, your family. Be a good person to strangers. Just chill. Share the planet with people. You know what I mean? Somebody getting on your nerves, move out their way. You don't like somebody, leave him alone. Cause I'm telling you, if I don't like my neighbor, I'm not gonna be in her yard or his yard cheering, doing a "I hate you" cheer on the other side of the street. Nah, I'm gonna be in my house, man. I'm trying to avoid my neighbor. Okay, if you don't like somebody or what they doing, leave them alone. You understand what I'm saying? Leave them alone. And if you don't want to be with somebody anymore, if you know you're not liking how their body is, you don't like how they eat or take care of themselves, and you just want to be out the relationship, get out the relationship before you start cheating and lying, because all you're doing is making the situation much fucking worse. Much worse. Just leave. Like, just leave. As hard as it may seem, it's actually the easier option. Leaving is the easier option than cheating. And a lot of people think cheating's easier. No, that makes it totally worse, okay? Anyway, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go fix me a sandwich. Have a good day. Bye. Have vision and stay focused, y'all.